kind. I wonder what is on his mind. No, please stop messing around so we can go to Brian's house.
Hey, welcome to Brian's house. Thanks for coming by. My wife, once again, rearranged the furniture, did a little painting, but I like it this week. This is kind of nice. Let's go out to the backyard and I'll read some of your questions.
Can't wait to answer your annoying questions now.
Questions. Let's see. Dan, would you ever give guitar lessons on your podcast? No, but I would give grammar lessons. Yeah. Your is not the same as your. As in, you're never going to amount to shit due to your poor grammar. The only exception is when texting, you can use you are, your, because it implies you know the difference and you're just abbreviating. Like, you're a fugly bitch, LMAO. And I get, to be honest, I get your and your, because they sound alike. So I understand why that can be inconvenient for some people to learn. What I don't get is saw and seen. I get this all the time. I seen you on YouTube. When somebody says this, I immediately have a picture in my mind. Or, yeah. You should say, I saw you on YouTube, or I have seen all your videos. You know, again, unless you're going to go all in with it and commit, like I seen your girlfriend and she don't know nothing. I sent her Alpo for that bitch could eat dinner. Okay, onward and upward. Mike, is 2012 apocalypse real? Is the 2012 apocalypse real? You know that 1,000 years ago, there was a Mayan guy working on his calendar every night for a year, and his wife finally came in and said, honey, seriously, what the hell are you doing? He goes, I'm working on my calendar. What year are you up to? 2012. Are you kidding? We won't even live to see that. I'm cooking and cleaning. I'm raising 6 children here, and if we're lucky, the chief might sacrifice 2 to the volcano gods, but probably not. We're stuck with them. And you're working on a calendar we're never going to live to see. Nobody's going to see it. Leave it for the next generation. I'm sure you've done 1,000 years worth. I'm sure they'll be able to see the pattern. Finish it for you. Good Lord. He's like, this is important work. No, it's not, Buster. Taking out the trash is important. As far as I'm concerned, 2012 is the end of the world. And that's where the calendar stopped. Just saying. Daniel, do you and Johnny see eye to eye on anything? Johnny Christ, the bass player for Avenged Sevenfold, I assume you're talking about? The diminutive Johnny? Do you see eye to eye with Johnny on anything? Honestly, I don't think anybody over the age of 12 sees anything eye to eye with Johnny, mentally or physically. Monique, what is your first thought when your children grow taller than you? I think, shit, I shouldn't have had kids. But to be fair, I thought the same thing before they were taller than me. Ava, does it bother you to be known as Sin's dad? No, I'm proud of him. I'm happy to be known as Sin's dad. I'm known as a lot of things, though, not just Sin's dad. Not all good either, by the way. A lot more people, and this is hard to believe if you look at me on Facebook, because Facebook, the Avenged fans are so psychotic that every other post is Avenged, so you would think that every fan I have is Avenged. And a lot more people know who I am as Guitar Guy from the Jeff Dunham Show. And when I do my own show, I'll do a show for 500 people, and I talk about Sin, and I say, how many people know who Avenged is? Literally 10 or 15 out of 500 know who Avenged Sevenfold is. I know when you're 15, you think everybody in the world knows. When you're 35, believe me, nobody gives a shit. So, yeah. There you go. So that's my rant on Avenged. Caitlin, do you ever get recognized in public? All the time. And speaking of Avenged, great story. Columbus, Ohio, with Johnny and my son Brian. They have a show that night at the arena. And so they're staying at the hotel. So I meet them at the hotel, and naturally there's fans because they have a show there. The fans know they're there. The bus is outside. They're waiting. So Brian comes down, and there's about 10 people down there. They need autographs signed. And so he does it. And we walk outside. We head to a local bar, big surprise. So as we round the corner, there's a homeless guy sitting there, and I mean, he's filthy, rags, this old backpack next to him, and a shopping cart filled with shit, and will work for food. I mean, just it's horrible. So he's got a little box there. So I take out my wallet and I put in $5, and he goes, "Thank you, God bless." Guitar guy? And I go, "Yeah." He goes, "Oh man, I laughed my ass off. I've seen you with Jeff Dunham before. You're great." As we walk away, Johnny turns to my son. He goes, "That guy doesn't have a car. He doesn't have a phone. He doesn't have an iPad. He doesn't have a computer. He has no house, no TV, no nothing. And he knows who your dad is. Your dad's a star. You suck." That's why Johnny's my favorite. Okay, let's see. What else? Sarah, if you could meet any person, dead or alive, who would it be? Kanye West, dead. Allie, is there a movie that ever made you cry? Is there a movie that hasn't? Is the question. I cry at every movie. I cry at commercials. There's a commercial out right now where this guy, there's a little girl, like 7 years old, sitting in the car, and her dad reaches through the window and hands her the keys and says, "Be careful, honey." And she goes, "I will, Daddy." And he goes, "Don't go on the freeway, don't drive too fast." She goes, "Dad." And he goes, "Okay." And as he backs away, then they pan back to the girl, and she's a teenager. So in his eyes, she's still 7 years old, and he's worried about her. And I'm like, yeah, that one got me. The commercial with the abused animals, the abused dogs and cats with Sarah McLachlan. "In the arms of the angels." I cried into a pillow the first time I saw that thing. True story. I should be ashamed of this. True story. A year later, I'm riding in an elevator, crowded elevator in downtown LA. We're coming down. It's like 60 floors, and we're coming all the way down, and Arms of the Angels start playing. And I'm like, don't. People are like moving away from me because I'm like, I went out to my car and cried. So there you go. Yes, I do. And damn the people that do that stuff that make me care about shit, because I hate that. I hate that. And please don't forget to check out my sponsor, Gamefly.com. They have over 7,000 game titles there for any system you have, handheld, anything. They've got a game for it. So check them out. Free shipping, free 15-day trial, Gamefly.com. Thanks for stopping by Brian's house, everybody. We'll see you again next week. And remember, subscribe.
There was so much to see at Brian's house. But now he wants us to leave Brian's house. Wish that we could stay, but he told us to go away. Can't wait.